Welcome to Chaotic Harmony. My name is John.
This is Crystal. We talk about the joys and the challenges of teaching music in the elementary school classroom.
We share struggles, we brainstorm solutions.
And we would love to have you join us. Welcome to episode 83.
84.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Last episode 83.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty dang sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it wrong.
So it's okay. Well, welcome.
Welcome to apparently episode 84.
You know, it's once you get like past number 70, it's like, what was it?
What are even numbers anymore?
What are numbers?
Today we're going to talk about student teachers.
Hey.
If you're a teacher if you're a credentialed teacher, you were one.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been a credentialed teacher for any number of years, you're probably going to get one.
Yes.
And especially if you're a music specialist, there aren't that many of us.
There aren't that many. And it's really, it is great to have an elementary music teacher.
I love it.
Lead you through as a student teacher, because I didn't have one. I had a high school.
Gosh.
Mine was high school.
Yeah, same. Okay, that's not true. I did do a little bit of field work with one, but she wasn't very good.
My field work was not through a music teacher. I only observed. And I think it's because I had my special ed credential. I was going for so a lot of the people at my institution pushed me towards was English, stuff. But yeah, I'm glad that people. So I was mentioned last episode, you have a student teacher.
I do.
Which is awesome.
I do have a student teacher, and he's wonderful.
Cool.
Yes, and I'm so excited. And he lives like 10 minutes from the school. He grew up in the area.
Awesome. Oh, that's great.
Yes, it's really, really awesome.
That's awesome.
And he's a San Diego State student. Okay. Yeah, he's lovely. The kids already just love him. So
how many student teachers have you had?
This will be my fourth.
Fourth? Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, and I've learned a thing or two. So I told Jonathan that I wanted to talk about student teachers today, and I thought that we would come at it from two angles. Mm-hmm. So first, let's talk about what it's like to host one, and maybe some things that have worked for us.
Yeah, sure.
We'll talk best practices, and then we'll talk about how to be a great one.
Yeah.
Or how to set yourself up for success, For
sure.
Yeah, because you never really know what you're walking into when you're a student teacher. You kind of just get matched and hope for the best. Mm-hmm. So
it's worse than online dating sometimes.
I don't know about that. You have some stories.
But that life is over.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can also unsubscribe me from
I don't think
Crystal
we said
Pridmore.
That before.
No, so Crystal had this whole segment that ran for at least 3 episodes. We're like, find John a girl episode, or segment. It's like, no,
you guys can stop now.
Please stop the
got
DMs.
a girl.
Anywho, so life be good.
Yeah, life be good.
But
there's
what's
more
even better?
outside of school.
You know what's even better?
What's better?
Not dealing with online dating, and not also dealing with that was a bad segue. I was trying to find a segue.
You were trying. I was gonna go with it.
Anyways, so
I was gonna go with it. I was gonna be there with you.
Okay,
it's okay.
Well, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's say that you're getting your first student teacher. What's something that you've learned?
So
through the process,
I've only had one student teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and first off, it was Leah, who we've had on the episode.
Yes, we have.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Leah.
And so it was also during a very hard time, which was called COVID-19. So my only experience of having a student teacher,
I forgot about that, was online.
It was online. Mind you, the good news is we worked with my principal. Is like we actually decided to share the same room on 2 different laptops, talking to the kids online. So we were at least able to engage each other like in person. If she had any questions, there was that.
Okay.
But like it was a very different time.
Totally.
But I feel like though through that process, I've learned a couple things of what I'd like to have, or what would be a good student teaching situation, and mainly because it helped me. My student teaching was not good. Let's put it that way. My student teaching was not good, and I don't blame the master teacher or anything. It's just I was given to a part-time music teacher.
Okay.
And so they were
probably because it's all they could find.
That, and also they wanted to pair me up with, as I mentioned earlier, my special ed credential. So I was I was double fisting it kind of thing. So
gotcha.
In the morning I had English, and then in the afternoon I had music. My music teacher, I didn't do a lot with band. I taught guitar class.
Okay.
But I didn't do a lot with band. And so at first when I was having Leah student teach, I kind of had that paradigm. Oh, I guess you only have them do part of it, and you also want to still continue your program kind of thing. Because that's kind of what my master teacher wanted to do. She wanted to make sure that her program is still because you only have one band class,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I empathize it for certainly. But for me, it's like what I wish I did with Leah was I let go and eventually let her take care of every single fragment of my class, because that's what a regular teacher's going to be doing.
Right. That's what they need to be able to do.
Right.
So it's not like having, I mean, I'm sorry if this is stupid and obvious to say, but I feel like I have to verbalize this. It's not like teaching a kid. Like you're teaching a colleague.
Yeah.
You know? And so the first thing that I do when I have a student teacher is I bring them to the front of the room and I have them introduce themselves and I make it very clear to the kids. Like I don't call them a student teacher. I say, this is a guest teacher. They will be with us for the next few months and we will be co-teaching together. The same rules apply for, Mr., whatever. And so far they've all been men.
Good.
That's interesting.
Oh, sorry. Well,
I mean, just is.
Well, I mean, to an extent, good. That wasn't what I meant to say. I meant to.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say something else. But there are a lot of the elementary music education demographic is
women,
Caucasian women. And
I
so
know. I mean, that's word on the street, but it hasn't been my personal experience.
That's fascinating.
And if you look at us, like when we get together for our music teacher meetings, we're pretty even split, gender wise.
Are we?
Yeah, we're 50-50. I counted.
Are we?
We totally are.
Wait.
I don't know if it is across the district.
I'm trying to think.
Don't argue with me. I counted at the last meeting.
I believe you.
Do you though, John? You're doubting me.
Are you including the presenter, aka Jesse Rogers, or?
I mean, just go with it.
I'm just trying to think who.
We're pretty even split here in Chula.
Okay.
We just are. It's true. Yeah. It's true.
We at Chula are pretty cool. So.
Ow.
I'll be here all year.
Oh, that hurt.
Like and subscribe.
God.
Hit that bell.
You're getting more and more desperate with every single thing you say. Okay, anyway, so after I introduce them and I make it really clear that they are on equal footing with me, usually, so the first couple of weeks they watch and just kind of see how things run. And I do have things that are non-negotiable. Like I have the same 4 rules up in my classroom from the time the kids are in kindergarten until 6th grade. That doesn't change. And I do my rules every day. And so I'm pretty firm on that. It's like, that's not going to change. But then as far as like content and stuff, I just gave him I gave him access to my Google Drive, that my folder that has all of my planning documents in it.
That I mentioned last episode because you're a rock in the organization this year.
I feel so good with my organization. And I was like, here's the scope and sequence. As long as you're hitting these, then we're good. And it has it broken down. It's Jesse Rogers' scope and sequence. It's really great. Okay. And it has it broken down by lesson and by quarter. Like we need to be talking about these things in this lesson.
It's too bad though. Jesse sucks. So
yeah, he left
he kind
us.
of sucks.
No, he doesn't suck. We love him.
No, he's great. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I structure it. And then something that I came up with this year that is working really well that I'm doing with my current student teacher that I haven't done before was I realized there was so much to talk about after every day, and it's just such a rapid fire day. So much happens in the course of a school day, especially when you're switching classes constantly, like you do as a music teacher. It's like you forget about what you need to talk about. So I gave him a journal, and it's our communication journal. So he can jot down questions or whatever, like things he wants more clarity on, and then I can write back. So not only, do we have more time kind of to like write it down, he doesn't forget throughout the day, but then he'll have it when we're done and he can keep it with him. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it seems like you are very much on the notion of there are certain things that are kept, but for afterwards, feel free to do what you want.
I mean, I feel like that's the most powerful thing that we can do is step into our own as teachers. Everybody has their own teaching style.
Yeah, very much so.
It's a very relational, very personal thing, and you have to find your style. It's kind of like photography. I feel like when I first started being I'm a photographer as well. So when I first started getting into professional photography, I had to find my style. And I was all over the place for the first 3 years. It's like I changed my editing style and even my shooting style. And now if you see a picture, it's pretty clear that it's mine. I've got a very
your style.
Yeah, I've got it dialed in. I know what I like. Yeah, so it's the same kind of a thing, And so I might influence what they say and give them a little gentle nudge here and there, but I mean, overall, as long as the objectives are being hit and the kids are having a great time and we're learning, I'm gonna toss him the keys and let him drive the car.
I mean, it's kind of like what we do with our students. Like, in the end, it has to be their education.
Yes.
It has to be also their education as for the student teacher.
Right. Yeah. Well, and like you were saying in the last episode, we're not going to be at our schools forever. Like, they have to have the confidence that they can do this without us.
And also, the best part is, as we know with our kids, hopefully, if we allow them to have the keys to the car, they might drive better than we do.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like,
I've learned so much from my student teachers. Yes.
I first off, I go back to what my my uncle, who teaches photography over at Punahou in Hawaii, and when I first started teaching, he said one of the first and most important things he said is, you as the teacher need to be learning the most.
Yeah.
You as the teacher are the one that learns the most in the classroom. If you're not learning, then you are not teaching. Like, you aren't growing as a person. Like, you as a teacher needs to...
If you keep things the same.
Keep things the same, but also if you think that you know everything, that's another thing. If you keep the paradigm that I know what I know, I know what's up, those kids are just receiving my information like tabula rasa, just absorbing, and I'm here as the great and powerful one to give them the information, to
impart my wisdom from on high.
It's sadly there's a lot of teachers that view it that way, and like that's not the way to take it. So like, his notion is like, if you the teacher are the one that learns the most, because you are offering it, you are realizing what works and what doesn't, and so
also the way you learn fastest as a new teacher is you just get thrown into the fire. That's it.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
And
at least it's a safe place with somebody else to be like, well, that was rough, huh?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. How can it go better next time?
If Leah's listening to this episode, she'll remember the situation. And I do wish, yes, they learn best by fire, but there are ways also, if you see something that's going to happen later on, like, for example, as we were teaching, I don't know why I'm shaking my shoulders. As we were teaching online, parents were next to their students.
Yes.
And there was a situation that happened. And I should have foreseen that and warned. Like, there's things like, because in the end, like, yes, they learn best by being thrown in the fire, but also, if you see a situation and recognize that this could be a bad thing,
could swoop in.
Yeah, or swoop in, or just say, hey, heads up. Do this, but something might happen.
Right.
Give like a little forewarning.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying, like the notion that if you give them the kids the keys to the car, they can drive better than you. I know Leah is going to be a better teacher than me, and that's not me whipping myself. Like, she's an awesome pedagogue. And same thing with also when I've been doing induction mentoring. Same thing, Jasandra. I know Jasondra's going to do awesome things. And so, but if you give them the tools and not think that they are just recipients of knowledge, like, they can do some cool stuff with your kids, and then the kids can say, oh, that's awesome, and flourish from there.
For sure. Yeah. Well, also they're up on the latest in the research, you know, like my info from my program, 16 years old now. There's been a lot that's happened in the last decade and a half in education. And so I just love hearing, like, okay, what's the new terminology? What's the best practices? You know, what do you know? What do you learn?
Believe it or not, education is not stagnant.
No.
Education is not something that's correct that existed 100 years ago.
Neither are the children.
I remember what Darlene Mashikon said, which I really resonates with me a lot. Kids are evolving, and so kids' learning is evolving, and so we need to evolve with them.
Yeah. Like, you know, in some ways, kids are kids, and in other ways, they are not the same as they were 50 years ago.
And as much as we can, be Grandpa Simpson shouting at the cloud, like, it's like, why are the kids like this? Like, let's be real here. The prior generation did the same thing to us.
Yeah, it's true.
And so, like, we need to be receptive. Like, we don't want to constantly punch down. Like, they are different. Yeah. That's a fact.
Right.
Some of it's not healthy, but also, what are we going to do with it? Right. How are we going to? So
this generation has a different set of challenges. So how do we as the adults help them overcome those challenges? Yeah, and reach them.
Yeah. And so not just to our student level, but to our student teaching level. Like, same situation. Like, how much younger is this student teacher?
More
or less. Or I've not asked.
I would say probably 15 years younger.
Okay. Yeah. So like, they come with a different perspective. Like,
totally.
Fresh, for better and for worse. Or I wouldn't say for better and for worse, just fresh. Yeah. Without having any bias.
Right.
A fresher perspective on what it's like to be a youth. My knees
we just
hurt.
sound older and older.
Oh man!
Oh my
look
gosh,
at my
it's so
life.
funny. Yeah, so I think coming with a healthy respect for each
Yeah.
other at the beginning and establishing that from the beginning, and I set the tone from the first conversation, just stating that, like, you are coming in as a full teacher, so I want you to step into your full power as a teacher. And if you want to talk about stuff ahead of time, great. Also, I've done things like hand them a book and be like, do something musical with this in 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Give them little challenges.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay. And do it with a safe class. But
Yeah.
Or I'll be like, okay, you've watched me teach this once. You lead this time. Just little by little. This time I'm actually handing an entire ensemble over because he wants to do after school orchestra.
Cool.
So
Okay.
I know. I'm so
okay.
glad. So glad. So I was like, great. You want that challenge? You go for it, my friend. Here's
Cool.
all the stuff. You design the curriculum. I'll help you. But here we go. It's been interesting to see what kind of questions have been asked. So I was looking back through my notes today and trying to find kind of a theme. Like, what does everybody ask? A really common question that I get is, how long does it take to teach a song? All 4 of them have asked that. And I'm like, it depends.
7 minutes and 9 seconds.
Right. I know. Like, how do you answer that? It's like, well, sometimes you break it down and it's really simple. And other times it's not.
And also, what do you want to do with a song?
Yeah.
That's
that too.
Like, a song's a song, sure, but
Right.
like a performance or a learning of the song is like, okay, are you going to just sing it? Are you going to just sing in canon? Are you going to add instruments to it? Are
Exactly.
you going to dance to it?
Are you going to create a B section?
Are we going to
turning it into a rondo?
Are we going to sing as we, march out into the gates and
Right.
like what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think also just growing as an educator is learning how to ask exactly what you mean. Like really zeroing in on those questions. Like, what are you really trying to find? What are you trying to find out? Yeah. And also like that question that we get at every workshop of what grade level would you do this with? It's like, well, that answer depends on your students. Your students a lot better than I do.
Sure.
I might do this with 3rd grade. You might have some little, geniuses that can do this in 1st, or your program might not be as far along. You might need to do it in 5th. It depends.
So something I love about ORF conference is our lovely friend Dave Thaxton.
Bingo card.
Yes.
He makes a bingo card.
He makes a bingo card. And like there are some phrases that are things that are always there. Like, for example,
what grade level?
Yeah. It's great. And like, I think the element that's important is to remember that know your community.
Yeah. Know your kids.
Know your kids. And like, maybe like this might not work. Maybe this will work. And I think something that I noticed, and this might be another episode later on, a lot of times teachers are just looking to TPT it up. Like, take a lesson and give it to the kids.
Yeah.
When, like, I understand how difficult this job can be. I get the stress.
Yes.
But that's what, at least especially as us ORF teachers, that will kill an ORF process if you just take a lesson and then copy pasta. Like,
it's true. You need to know your kids, and you need to personalize it.
Know your kids and know what you want to do with it.
Yeah, you have to. That's being a culturally responsive teacher, people. Okay, like don't just get a lesson and teach it as is. That's acceptable if you're like a brand new teacher. Okay, that's fine. If you're surviving by the skin of your teeth. But seriously, if you've been in a place long enough to have built. Yeah, that's another weird one. Kind of like peel your eyes.
Now I'm feeling it. Feeling the skin on my teeth.
Well, then you need to floss, okay?
Sorry.
Where was I? You totally derailed my train of thought.
If you're a new teacher.
Okay, if you're a new teacher, then it's fine to get a majority of your lessons, I think, that you teach exactly as they are. But once you've been at a place for a certain amount of time and you know your kids, and you take the time to get to know them and you know their families, you better know enough about them, their ability levels, and their life at home and their culture that you start tailoring your lessons. Yeah. Otherwise, you ain't doing your job, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just allowing AI to take over your job. because in that case, you're just saying,
hey, let's ask ChatGPT.
Have you asked ChatGPT?
I love ChatGPT. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I use it all the time.
It's phenomenal.
It is.
I think that's another
but it's
topic.
not a finished product.
No, it's not.
It's a jumping off point.
What I love about AI at the moment is that it's something you can throw against the walls. Oh, okay, this works. This doesn't work. Okay, and how can I work? It's a wall to throw ideas off of.
Totally. Yeah. It's sometimes it's just funny.
But I guess in that analogy, if you're just copy pasta lesson plans, you are just becoming the wall as opposed to the actual teacher.
It's true. Like, you're the facilitator of the creativity. You know. Yeah.
And like we said earlier, like knowing your kids, it's going to be different, and also understanding when you transfer from being a beginning teacher to someone who actually creates lessons and knows your students. It's not like a year. It's not. The fourth year. Especially when you had COVID in the middle of it.
I like how Mark talks about try one new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's been really good about at a lot of our PDs that we've had or workshops or whatever. He'll talk to the room of teachers and say, you've learned a lot today. You've seen a lot today. I want you to know that you don't have to do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting all of this at your winter concert. Pick one thing and try it. And give it a shot. And then, once you do that, you get brave enough to try more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that going back to our student teacher discussion, like learning how to help them wade into the pool a little bit at a time before you toss them in.
Yeah. I think that's the key thing. We learn by fire, but also despite the fact that they are adults, not children, you still are teaching.
Yeah.
Them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You still are, well, not teaching. You're guiding. Guiding is more accurate. Yeah. And so, don't just toss them into the fire to say, but also know who they are and
not unprepared.
And encourage them because they're also stressed out.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, what were you like when you were student teaching? How was it like for you?
Well, I was a newlywed and I was working.
So easy.
Yeah. I was working 4 jobs. And it all had to be outside the school day because we had to make ends meet. I was driving all over town. I was staying up every night till like midnight to get everything done. Yeah, there's a lot on your plate.
Yeah. And like, even though not everyone's going to be doing what you're doing, like a lot of student teachers don't have jobs.
Oh my gosh, I was pregnant too.
Sorry, do you have jobs? Sorry.
Yeah, they do have jobs.
A lot of them do have jobs just to make ends meet, especially in San Diego.
Yeah.
So it's a stressful thing to.
I found out I was pregnant halfway through student teaching, and I was so tired. I remember I was at a high school. I had a great student teaching experience.
Cool.
But I was at a high school band, and my guide teacher found me passed out in the closet under all the band uniforms, and she's like, "Are you okay?" It's like, I've got like a waffle on my face that's like a band uniform, button, like.
It's rough, Nubs.
It was rough. It was really hard. And California just makes you jump through so many hoops to be a teacher. It's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so that's us talking to the teachers who might be hosting a student teacher this year. Let's talk to the student teachers. Yeah. Hey, I see you and I see you're hard. That is hard. It's a hard season, and it gets better.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You are not going to get it perfect.
No, you're not.
Perfection is not required. It's like, it's not, and like you are going to make mistakes, and as shallow as those words may feel, it is true. Because I am still making mistakes in my 9th year.
Oh my gosh, I make mistakes every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, just as much as you want to give the grace to your students, it's important to give grace to yourself as well. Also,
it's totally normal to get in your car and cry after a day of work.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And tears are just, like your feelings leaving your body so they don't get stuck in your muscles and give you cramps.
I like that better than what my martial arts teacher said.
What is
it? Pain is weakness leaving the body. He's like, oh my god.
No. No.
Yeah, no. It's no. Yeah, tears is a symptom.
It's healthy.
It's a way of release.
Yes, it's release.
Symptom's the wrong word.
It's good.
Tears are release. There you go.
And it releases endorphins too. Like, you need to cry. You got to get it out.
Because this ain't an easy job.
It is not.
But it gets better.
And it has purpose.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's the key part. Yeah. If this is something that you're doing for stability, okay. But if this is something that you're doing because you believe in it and you have like a vocation towards it, if you feel like this is your vocation, then keep it up. Like,
Yes.
you're doing good stuff.
That's
You're
right.
making mistakes. It's fine, but you're doing the good stuff.
I was getting really philosophical looking at my shampoo bottle. And
Okay.
on the back, it has the ingredients, and it says active ingredient and then purpose. And I was like, active ingredient, purpose. You got to have purpose in your life, right? That's the active ingredient. That's the secret sauce.
But
right?
What was it though?
Hashtag shower thoughts. I don't know.
But was
I don't know.
the
I was just
ingredient
stuck on the
purpose?
title. No,
Oh.
like I'm saying, like in your life.
Yeah.
Just go with it, Seligman. Come on.
I like it. I like it.
Okay.
I'm just now curious why a soap bottle's active ingredient is purpose.
It's not soap. It's shampoo. It's
Shampoo.
different.
Okay. What's shampoo?
Yeah, I know. You're bald.
My kids bring it up all the time. Like, bros, I am not just a bald person. Thank you. What should I be for Halloween? Mr. Clean. This other person, he's bald. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm glad it's bald jokes than racist jokes, but like, gosh. Gosh. Anywho.
Oh Lord.
Active ingredient.
Purpose. Yeah, you got to go into this job with purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would say also, like, you don't usually get much say in who your student teaching with, and so I have had a wide range of stories of experiences from fellow teachers. Like some of them had a great student teaching experience like I did. I remember one of our college professors talking about how he walked into his first day of student teaching and he did not see that teacher until he was done with the semester.
What?
She just like handed him everything
What?
and like didn't come to school.
Oh gosh.
I'm pretty sure that's like 100% illegal and would not fly now.
No, that's bad news bears.
I know, but he's old, so I'm sure like they got away with it back then.
He's old in the world.
And then I've also heard other people talk about how their guide teachers were just kind of a mess, you know, and they didn't learn a whole lot from them. So
I feel like just as much as our teaching profession is a vocation,
yes,
if you're going to take on a student teacher, have purpose with it.
Yes.
Don't just do it for the paycheck, because let's be real, the paycheck isn't a ton
oh,
more.
it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not.
That's not the
well,
reason to do it.
Unless you're just giving them the lessons and walking out. Then
Yeah,
sure,
right,
I guess
then
so.
sure,
But
yeah.
like, make it worth it. Like,
It's almost nothing.
like
So.
you are affecting these people just as much as you're affecting these kids. Actually, in fact, in doing so, you're affecting your kids negatively if you're affecting your student teacher negatively.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Well, I look at it like I can only teach so many kids, but if I have an impact on teachers,
yeah.
oh my goodness, that's powerful stuff right there. That's where you start getting that exponential growth. And so I want to help reach as many teachers as I
Definitely.
possibly can. And
Yeah.
geez, like getting somebody launched in this, like we had to figure out what the heck an elementary music teacher did. We didn't know.
I didn't
If
know.
you're new here in Southern California, elementary music is not really a thing.
Nope.
And so we had to figure it the frick out.
Before us, there was no arts for 35 years.
In Chula Vista.
In Chula Vista.
Yes, there was none.
So, yeah.
Go back to season 1 if you want to hear that story. It was an exciting time,
Yeah.
and it was really cool. We also didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We figured a lot out.
Figured a lot out.
Yep, and I
Yeah.
feel really good about where we've landed, and I also am so excited to see where people can go. I kind of go back to that quote from Bob Phillips. So he's one of the writers of the Sound Innovations curriculum.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a strings teacher. We took a workshop with him several years ago, but in the middle of his workshop, he just dropped this truth bomb, like right in the middle of my orchestra room. And it was, am I preparing my students for my past or their future? And I was like, whoa. You know, we always have to be looking at what challenges can we give people who are coming to us to learn. And it's everybody from the students in our class. Like my students can read music so well already. Like they're reading some really complex rhythms. Like they can read in multiple meters. They know dotted rhythms. They can read 16th notes. They're on fire with that. And they can sight sing. If we're using solfege, it's really exciting. I couldn't do that in elementary school. And so I'm totally preparing them to launch further than I was ever able to go.
Yeah.
And the same thing with a student teacher. You know, I walked in, didn't have any instruments in my classroom.
Yeah.
I had to teach with plastic plates and cups and dowel rods for
whackers
a
in a shed.
semester.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't even have boom whackers for 6 months.
Yeah. Listen to the first season. We talk about
It
that
was a lot.
It was,
Yes. And
Yeah.
so, like, if I can set somebody up with, okay, this is what an elementary music teacher should do if they're worth their stuffing, and then here's all the tools that you need to actually do your job, how much further and faster can they go? Yeah. That's an exciting thought to me. I want to see that. I want to be part of that. I want to build that.
I know we've been trying to address the student teacher in this, but I kind of also want to go back to addressing the mentor.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I want to, and then I lost my train of thought.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was something along the lines of kind of. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Like, just as much as you tell your students, it's like the notion that you don't have to have it together. If you want to be a student, a master teacher, what do they call it now?
Guide teacher.
If you want to be a guide teacher, and you were apprehensive, you not feel like you're it yet. There is no it, and so
for sure.
If you feel
just jump in.
Just jump in and like join the mess, just like the kid you're teaching is joining the mess.
It's so nice to have another adult in the room, you guys. It's amazing. Yeah. It's life-changing. I love it. It's so great. And let me tell you, my student teachers see some real life because my kids are awesome and they got a lot going on. And so it is the chaotic harmony. There's a reason that this podcast has its name.
Despite the fact that it's hard to say sometimes.
Inspired by real life here. Yeah. My dad came up with the name after witnessing my classroom.
I think it runs better than Herding Cats. Herding Cats podcast. No.
Yeah. Nah.
It doesn't run. No.
Although that felt like
there's some days. There are some days.
That was yesterday.
Oh, rough nuts.
It was rough. I was like, is the planet in retrograde? And there's like literally 6 planets in retrograde right now. The universe said, yes, it is.
The planet is occurring with a lot of global issues. So.
Oh, that too. I have a coworker who's like, is Mercury still in the microwave? Instead of retrograde. It's just this stupid joke that we have.
No, our planet is.
Hey, not so much. Okay, anyway, if you have a student teaching experience or nugget of wisdom, I'm so interested to hear it. Yeah. Please reach out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or if you're a student teacher.
Yes.
And you're like having questions, first off, talk to your guide teacher, of course, but like.
You can use us too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy to reach out or connect you to some. If we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody who does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I feel like this is a great time to plug. I am on the board of ASEM, the American Center for Elemental Music and Movement, and we offer a weekly help desk. We call it the ASEM Help Desk, and it's a Zoom meeting, and it's open to anybody who wants to join. And you can submit questions anonymously, or you can ask a question live if you're comfortable with that. And it just goes to a panel of people who have the same job you do, and we hash out answers.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Use it. Check it. Help it.
Talk to me if you need to find it. All right. Okay. We will be back with Spiccato after the break. I want to take a quick break and thank my husband, Bryan, who's been working behind the scenes producing these episodes every week on all of the platforms and on time. But you need to know that he is first a financial planner for Mission Trails Financial. Mission Trails Financial is a partner that seeks to guide clients in the journey to financial success. They believe that people need a financial advisor that aims to provide strategies for success. Mission Trails Financial helps people navigate investments, tax planning, and insurance. Imagine working with an advisor who isn't tied to specific brands. Mission Trails Financial has a fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interests of their clients by providing independent, objective advice. Their mission is to help clients accomplish their financial goals. As Joe Vitale once said, a goal should scare you a little and excite you a lot. Do yourself a favor and set up a time to chat with Mission Trails Financial. Visit www.missiontrailsfinancial.com or call 619-419-0238 to schedule a call. You'll be glad you did. We believe that leaning on professionals is how we get ahead. Check out the program notes for more information. I have a Spiccato.
But before we do the Spiccato, we have a hard left turn. Hey! So first off, thank you so much, dudes. All y'all. 5 years. It's been wild. And thank you to all those who've been following us for these past 5 years. But in order to make sure this community keeps on growing and reach out to other people, join us on patreon.com/CH Classroom. There's a lot of stuff there. You can get cool merch and also great lesson ideas in different
lesson plans, procedures.
Check it out.
Classroom visuals.
All of the things. And
all
also
things.
direct communication to us.
That's right.
But also, if you can't toss a buck away, that's totally fine. You can help us still by sending us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. 5 is the only number I know.
That's right.
And leave us a review like verbally. It does help make sure the algorithms are nice to us.
Plus, it just feels good.
Yeah, it does.
I
get happy.
does.
Every single time I see something that's not B. Arbra, I like B. Arbra, but every time I see something that's not B. Arbra, I get a little joy chance.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Do that. And also, whether or not you're on YouTube, go to youtube.com/CS Classroom and, hit us to subscribe.
Yes.
Yes.
You might hear my puppy in the background because I'm holding one of her toys.
Oh, I see what's going on.
That is our Spiccato. She does not trust this toy.
So to our listeners, it is
a green rubber pig.
Rubber pig.
And how big is that? Like the size of a Nerf football.
Sure.
I would say, okay? Yeah. It's a green rubber pig. And this is what it sounds like.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay. Huh.
Look at her.
She's
She's cocking her head like, what are you doing with my toy, Mom?
What would you do with a green pig? So first off, I'd make sure that they're not in easy access.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't let an 11-year-old get that. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Because I have one who lives in my house.
Anywho, I'm having too much fun. No, also like in my classroom, I have like that bunch of rubber chickens.
Yeah.
Like the only place that is in good access isn't too easy of access.
Oh, yeah.
So kids like to mess around with it. Anywho,
what's really fun about this is the inhale it gives. So let me get.
Oh gosh.
Listen to that inhale. Did you get that?
An asthmatic green pig with also stubble or spikes.
Yeah, it does have spikes. That's for the dog for sensory.
Is it? But
you can find them in any pet shop. I found them. They're not expensive.
Obviously, you can go with like rhythmic ostinato.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry. Let me see if something's around.
Yeah, don't knock the mic. I like it.
I don't know. That's something you do.
I'll bet you could get a different sound with a mallet. We don't have one though.
Well, we can try just with something percussive.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Maybe. Okay.
Is Lilibet just like, what are you doing to my friend?
Yeah, she's like,
what are you doing?
That's my toy. No, she doesn't trust it though. She'll like touch it and then run away from it because it's almost as big as she is. I have a very small dog.
Another thing I have. So
okay.
Do you have your kids do doggy? Where's my bone?
I haven't done that game.
Okay. It's a fun little game at the end. Okay. So in case you're not aware of how this game works, you have someone sitting in a chair with their eyes closed and we sing a song. Doggy, doggy, where is my bone? And then all the person in the chair closed it up with their eyes closed has to sing who's the best my bone. And then whoever you give a marker to or whatever, they sing, I have your bone, or something along the lines of that. Or maybe you have 2 markers, whatnot. Instead of having them, sing it.
Oh, you play it.
just add a little flavor.
You play
to
a dog toy instead.
Exactly.
That's a fun idea.
I got a bunch of rubber chickens. We could do that as well.
You could. This definitely has rubber chicken vibes. I was thinking of, so we're doing the book Too Much Noise, and Rob Amchin. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Does an Orff piece to it, and I think it's volume 4. Page 6, number 6.
Okay.
I probably just made all that up, but I think I didn't. There's too much noise. There's too much noise. Beds are squeaking, floors are creaking. There's too much noise. There's too much noise. And the teapot whistling all day. And it's about a man who has a noisy house. And he can't sleep and he can't even think. He can't hear himself think. And he gets mad at it, so he goes to the wise men of the village. Off he goes, the wise man knows. Oh, off he goes, the wise man knows just what to do about too much noise. I'm doing it with my 5th graders right now. And the wise man tells him to get a cow. and put it in his house. And then he goes back to the wise men. And then and there's still too much noise. Okay, get a pig. And then goes gets a pig. And then dogs and cats and all. And he gets all these animals in his house. And then he's like, they're driving me crazy. It's not fixing the problem. The wise man says, okay, now get rid of all of them. And he does. And he's like, oh, my house is nice and quiet, even though it's making the same noises that it was before, right? And the moral of the story is things could always be worse.
But the real question, what happened to all those animals?
Oh, I don't know. We don't worry about that. But anyway, well, like while the pigs are going by, I mean, it's obvious, but it's a sound effect.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious in the middle of a play, I think. Just bust that out.
Bust it out.
All right.
So that's our ideas.
Yeah.
If you have any ideas, let us know.
Let us know.
Uh-huh.
Round of the week. Okay. We have a song. It's not a round, but it's a song. But we were singing it, and I feel like we need to sing it.
Go.
Here. So this is Avon Gillespie, who is a Orph granddad.
Orph granddad.
Yeah. He did a lot of work out here on this side of the country, in the Orph community, and this is his song. Welcome, welcome everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome everybody here. That's it. Welcome, welcome everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome everybody here. That's it. You can sing it over and over again. You can add ostinati to it. You can get a little body percussion going to it. I have a shruti box, which is an Indian instrument, which is really fun to play. It's a drone instrument, so it's got levers on it that you pull, and it kind of works like an accordion.
Go check episode 70 something.
Okay.
You used it before.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
I don't even remember what we did anymore.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it was just last year.
It's a great tool.
Yeah.
I love my shruti box, and so I let a kid play the shruti box.
Cool.
On a C, and then we all sing it, and it's lovely. Welcome, welcome everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome everybody here. Thanks for being my shruti box, John.
Indeed.
Appreciate it. All right.
Cool.
That's
awesome.
a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
That's it.
Or a song.
It's a song. It's true.
It's a song. Yeah. But if someone wanted to share some songs to you, Crystal, how would they contact you?
You can find me at Mrs.Pridmore on Instagram or at crystalpridmore.com.
Awesome. And you can find me at Mr. Seligman, MrSeligman on all the socials. You can find me also on johnseligman.com there, as well as you can find us at CH Classroom. If you want to email us, we would love to receive your emails. We will respond to you at a time. We're doing better. We're doing better. But send us an email at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com.
Yeah, good luck saying it. Say it 3 times fast.
Do it. Send it to us. Record it to us.
It makes us really happy.
Yeah. Thank you so much, y'all.
Bye.
The Chaotic Harmony podcast is a joint project between Crystal Pridmore and Jonathan Seligman. You can find us online at chaoticharmonyclassroom.com. You can email us at chaoticharmonyclassroom@gmail.com and let us know what you think. Give us feedback about what you would like to hear in future episodes. We're on all the socials. Find us on facebook.com/chaoticharmonyclassroom. You can find us on Twitter at CHClassroom, Instagram at Chaotic Harmony Classroom, and you can even find our episodes on YouTube. Chaotic Harmony is the name of our channel. Special thanks to Bryan Pridmore for his help with production and equipment. www.pridmoria.com.